Madam, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. करतोय ना.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Hello. Good morning, sir. I joined.
Okay. Sir, when you sharing the screen, just off the annotation setting, sir.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Okay, so we are going to start at 10:30, correct?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
First 5 minutes, HOD sir will be say something, and then 5 minutes. You will be continue.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. Start करेगा.
Yes.
Good morning all. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science of Raj Shikshan Sanstha's Rao Bahadur Narayan Rao Poroke College, Sriram, I welcome you all to second day of online webinar on Django Web Development with Python. I think you must be enjoy yesterday's tour, okay? I would like to request to Dr. B.S. Shinde, Head Department of Computer Science, to introduce the theme of the webinar.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, one and all. Respected chief guest and today's speaker for a 2 days online webinar on Django web development with Python, Mr. Kunal Pagaria, Amdocs Private Limited, Pune, and respected principal Dr. N.S. Gaikwad sir, and all faculty members and my dear students. Today's topic is Django web development framework and its practicals. We have got an eminent personality within us, that is Mr. Kunal Pagaria, who is going to guide us for today's session. I am very thankful to Honorable Principal of our college, Dr. N.S. Gaikwad sir, for his kind support and who always keep us enthusiastic for any activity and guide us time to time. I know this today's 2 days webinar will definitely enhance the knowledge of students and it will be beneficial in their futures. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving on towards our first technical session of the day, which is based on Django web development. Now let us have the pleasure of listening to the great knowledgeable speaker, Mr. Kunal Pagaria, sir, Amdocs India Private Limited, Pune. Before moving towards the first session of the second day, I would like to tell you something about today's respected speaker, Mr. Kunal Pagaria, sir. He is software development specialist in Amdocs India Private Limited, Pune. He has 12 years experience. So I request to sir, please enrich our knowledge with your thought-provoking words.
Thank you all.
Welcome, sir.
Sir, shall I go ahead and start the lecture?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Are you audible?
Yeah, I am audible.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi everyone. Okay, so first let me give you my introduction. Okay, so sir has already given my introduction. Okay, but I want to introduce myself a little bit. Okay, so that we'll have okay, so that all you can know me. Okay, how I'll teach and what are my qualifications and uh, how many languages I teach. Okay, and then we move forward to Python and Django. Okay, so first let me share my screen. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so welcome all. Okay, so we are here to learn the Python code and Django. Okay, so don't be serious, be calm and cool. If you have any questions anywhere between the lecture, you can unmute yourself and you can ask me. Okay, so I want this session to be more interactive. Okay, so it's not like only I'll speak and you'll just listen. Okay, so you also speak. Okay, if I ask question, try to give me the answers. Okay, it may be correct, it may not be correct. That's okay. Don't hesitate. Fine. Okay, so I work in MDocs as a software development specialist. Okay, I have around 10 years of experience in IT, and along with uh, like my IT professional career, I as a passion you can say, I like teaching. Okay, so I do trainings. I work as a visiting faculty in various colleges around Pune. I started teaching first C++ and Java programming, and then I moved to AngularJS, Node.js, and Cloud. And then I moved to Python, Django framework, and Flask framework. Okay, so I know this technology. I have hands-on experience on this technology. Now, if we speak about uh, Python, let's speak about Python first for 5 minutes. Mm, let me tell you one thing, like we have so many programming languages, so then why we have chosen Python? Okay. That is because Python has huge supports of framework, you can say libraries. Okay, if you want to go for web development, you can choose Python. If you want to go for machine learning, AI development, you can choose Python. If you want to go for IoT projects, if you want to go for desktop application project, if you want to build the server side coding, if you want to connect to the database, everything Python supports. Okay, so that's why market has been totally moved to Python. Okay, so I hope like yesterday you got the knowledge about why we are using Python and how to start writing code in Python. Okay, so let me ask you one simple question. Okay, tell me, is Python compiled or interpreted? Can anyone tell? Is it a compiled language or interpreted language?
Interpreted language.
हॅलो कुणाल सर, तुमचा आवाज नाही येते कुणाल सर. हॅलो हॅलो कुणाल सर.
Sorry, I think someone muted me.
ओके.
Okay, आता येतोय?
येस येस येस
Yeah,
येस.
yeah. Okay.
Sir, all the participants are muted. Only host and co-host are enabled for mute and unmute.
Okay, fine. Okay, so before learning any technology, we have to first understand why we need to learn that technology. Okay, why Django? Why not, let's say PHP? Why not Java? Why not JSP? Why not ASP.NET? But why Django? Okay. So Django is web development framework. Okay, so it is known as server-side development languages. Okay, so mostly Django is used at server-side programming. Okay, so which is designed to support both development, supports the development of dynamic website. Okay, so dynamic in the sense, if you take an example of facebook.com or insta.com. Okay, so these websites are pretty dynamic. Okay, you add the post, people comment on that post. If you delete the post, people cannot comment it. Okay, if you say if you want to chat to someone, you can select that person and you can start chatting. Okay, all things are dynamic, nothing static in that website. Okay, so if you want to develop those kind of application or those kind of website, okay, maybe it can be like e-commerce. Okay, like amazon.com, flipkart.com. Okay, so you can choose Django. Okay, so why we need to choose Django, let's talk about that. Okay, with the help of framework, you do not have to handle the hassles of web development. Okay, what this means, you need not to start writing code from scratch. Okay, so if you want to start writing from code from scratch, then it will take almost 1 year to complete the web development. Okay, but we are not going to do that. Okay, so whatever Django provides, whatever framework provides, we will use that, and then we will start implementing the requirement which we have it. Okay, so uh, you can read this line, don't repeat yourself. Okay, so don't repeat yourself means once you write the code, you can reuse that code everywhere in your web application. Okay, so there are less chances of writing repeated code. Okay, so that's the purpose people moved to Django framework and they started using Django framework. Why? Because for the developer to develop the web application, it will be more easier. Okay, why? Because we don't want to write the code from scratch in the sense from start. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Okay, how we can do that. Okay, so let's keep this, we'll come to this all these slides later. Okay, so just look at this slide. I search on the internet what programming language was used to make Instagram. Okay, I hope everyone is on Instagram. Okay, I assume. Okay, because we are now we are into new generation. Okay, older generation also, they started creating their account in Instagram. They started communicating in social media. Okay, to connect to the people, we use the social media, social website like Facebook and Instagram. Okay, but as a developer point of view, you are a developer and you want to understand how the code has been written in Facebook or in Instagram, or what are the technology they have used. Okay, so you can see Instagram getting used. Okay, so the Django is getting used in Instagram. Okay, for server side coding. Okay, you can see it here. For backend server side coding, Instagram uses Python Django framework along with HTML5 and CSS. Okay, why? Because Instagram has lot of feature, has lot of things. Okay, and we have millions of customer, millions of users in Instagram. Okay, so to provide the dynamic features into Instagram, they have to choose the best language. Okay, the word is best language. Okay, and Django is one of the best language for server side coding. Okay, we'll come to architecture, we'll come to different CMBT later. Okay, once you understand the technology, then we'll come to the theory part. Okay, now I want to start the programming directly. Okay, I hope you all have laptop along with you. Correct? Yeah, sir. सगळ्यांकडे आहे laptop?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, and also assume you have Python installed. Okay, so it can be version 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, doesn't matter. Okay, now in last week only, Python releases one new version, that is 3.9. Okay, even you can use that 3.9 version. Okay, so let me also go over to the command line mode. Okay, so I am going to teach you the command line development with Django. Okay, we are not using any kind of UI tool. We'll write the code in UI tool, but to run the project, okay, or to create the project, we'll use command line mode only. Okay, it's pretty simple, nothing hard in that. Okay, so let me share my complete screen, just a moment. Yeah. Okay, now everyone open the CMD. How to open CMD? You can type it here, CMD. Okay, so I opened the CMD. Type Python version. Okay, so I have version 3.7.3. Okay, you may be having different version, doesn't matter. Only the thing is you need Python version 3, above 3. Okay, not below 3. You have to use above 3. Okay, so I hope this command is executed successfully on your machine. Okay, then second command we need to use it like pip. We have to use the pip command. Okay, so you can execute the command here, pip help. So you will get the help on pip. Okay, if you get the output, that means successfully. If you don't get the output, that means there is something wrong, like your class path is not set, your environment variable is not set, or you don't have even Python installed. Okay, uh, okay, now next thing is we have to install the framework before using the framework. Okay, if you want to use any framework in Python, first you have to use install it. Okay, so how to install the framework? By using command pip install and your framework name. Okay, in this case framework is Django. Okay, D is silent. You can spell it as a D Django. Okay, but you can pronounce it as a Django. Okay, so let me click enter. Okay, enter, and now it's showing requirement is already satisfied, means in my laptop I have Django already installed. Okay, maybe in your case Django will not be there in your machine. It will download the package and it will install the package on your machine. Okay, so pip is a installer for Django, for any of the framework, but here we use pip for installation of Django. सर स्टुडंट करतात आहेत का, कसं कळणार मला?
सर स्टुडंट व्हिडिओ रेकॉर्डिंग करणार आहे, आपण त्यांना रेकॉर्डिंग सेंड करणार आहे. स्टुडंट तुमचं लर्न करताय, पण चॅटिंग जर ऑन ऑफ ठेवायची का ऑन ठेवायची चॅटिंग त्यांच्यासाठी?
अच्छा, म्हणजे मी फक्त इथं करत जाऊ and then you will record it
येस
and
येस
then
येस येस
student will do it later.
येस 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 सर.
Okay, okay, fine, good, no problem. Okay, now once you install the Django, you can execute one more command. Let me give you that command to you. Okay, command is pip freeze. Command name is pip freeze. Okay, so what this command doing, it list out all the frameworks which I have installed. Okay, pip freeze. Okay, what I have installed in my machine, I have Flask, I have Django version 2.2.2. Okay, then I have you can see it here, I have NumPy. NumPy is used for data science. I have OpenCV framework that is getting used for image processing. Okay, then I have Matplotlib that is used for data science with graphical representation. Okay, I have MySQL client to connect to MySQL database. Okay, I have Oracle also to connect to Oracle database. So I have number of frameworks in my laptop. Okay, so why Django has pip has shown that? Because I have already installed that. Okay, so you can type this command to see which version of Django install on your machine. Okay, so Django 2.2.2. Okay, you may not be having all the framework on your machine. You may be having something or zero. Okay, fine. Now once we install the Django, we get a new command, Django admin. We get new command to use. Okay, so you can type Django admin and you can press enter. It will list out all available subcommands. Okay, so these are the subcommands which you can use with Django admin. Okay, simple example, start project. Okay, let me go to another directory because I don't want to create the project here. Work. Okay, I'll create a new folder here. Okay, Django session. Okay, so I'll change my directory. Okay. Now if you see it here, I am in Django session directory. Okay, I want to create a new project here at this location. So that's why I have moved to this directory. Okay, now let's create a first project in Django. How to create? Django admin is the command. Okay, next is sub command, start project. Okay, you can see it here, sub command is start project. Okay, and then your project name. Okay, so we will start with hello world. Press enter. It will take couple of seconds because it downloads the project structure from the internet. Okay, so if you don't get any error, you can see it here, that means command executed successfully. Okay, let's enter dir. Okay, now if you go to the Explorer Django session, inside Django session, you can see new directory, hello world. Okay, so this is your project directory. Django created automatically by just executing a single command. Okay, and in that directory you will see the Django code, okay, the default code. Okay. My directory has project directory has one more directory. That's okay, hello world. I'll tell you uh, what is the meaning of this subdirectory, and inside it I have few Python files. Okay, good. We created project successfully. Okay, now let's run that project. Go to command line, go to project location, cd hello world. My project name is hello world. Okay, now here to run the project you have to use Python manage.py run server. Okay, so now we are going to run our application. Application means project. Okay, good. I got some output. You can see it here. Uh, Performance check. Okay. Then it in build your application. Build in the sense interprets your application. And if there is any syntactical error, then it will show you the error. Otherwise, it will show you this message: starting development server at http:// IP address and port number. Okay, so that means my server is running. Okay, now let's go to the web browser, type the IP address localhost or 127.0.0.1 8000. Okay, sorry, this was my earlier project. Give me a minute, I'll close that. Okay, I started my server again. Yeah, now I'll type the URL 127.8000. Yeah, expected result. Okay. Now it shows the default page. The installation worked successfully. Okay, and there is some default page that Django render when we send the request to Django server. Okay, because we haven't written any web page, we haven't written any single line of code. Okay, so that's why Django gives the default page. Okay, you can see the rocket is moving to the sky. Django version 2.2 and some documentation. So you can click on this documentation to get the Django framework help. Okay, so this documentation is very good. You can always go through this documentation. Okay, so you'll get lot of things. Okay, so Django, how to start with Django. First step, what is model layer, what is view layer, what is template layer, what are the forms, how you can start the development, how admin gets render, what security Django provides, internationalization, localization. Okay, internationalization means Django supports all the languages. It can be English, French, or Japanese. Okay, or even Marathi as well, Devanagari as well. So that is called as internationalization support. Okay, and then you have caching, logging, email sending, right? When you register yourself to some website, they send email to you, right? That feature is also available in Django. Pagination is also available. Messaging framework is also available. You can create sessions, like after register login and then log out, so it creates the session. Okay, so you can have static file management, dynamic file management, you can have data validation. Okay, lot of things Django has. Okay, so let me stop for 1 minute. If you have any question up till now, you can ask. सर आपल्याला अनम्यूट करता येईल का, म्हणजे ज्यांना क्वेश्चन्स आहेत त्यांना विचारता येतील?
सॉरी सर.
मुलांना अनम्यूट करता येईल?
हो सर, करता येईल ना. करूया का?
हा हा, जर काय क्वेश्चन्स असतील तर विचारू
ओके
दे.
सर, ओके. किंवा सर असं केलं तर आपण लास्टला 1 तासामध्ये क्वेश्चन आन्सर सेशन ठेवलेला आहे शेवटी.
चालेल चालेल, तसं पण करू. बट जर आत्ताच काही क्वेश्चन्स असतील तर दे कॅन आस्क.
मग त्यांना चॅट मध्ये टाकायला लावू का क्वेश्चन?
चल, यस 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 यस.
Okay.
Yes.
If anyone have any question, so you write your question in chat box. So sir will we give the answer for that question.
Okay, so at the end of session, we are going to talk about we'll have live communication between you and me. Okay, and whatever question you'll have, I'll give you answer. But whatever topics we have done up till now, if you have question in that topic, if you're not getting anything, if I'm a bit fast, you want me to slow down, you can ask me. Sir, fast चाललंय, बरोबर चाललंय?
सर एकदम व्यवस्थित चाललंय.
व्यवस्थित आहे ना? ठीक
हो.
आहे. Okay, now either you can type it your IP address or you can type it your localhost 8000. Okay, same thing. Localhost is the host name and 127.0.0.1 is IP address. Okay, now let me move to the slide. Just a moment. Okay, let's have some fun. Okay, so if you go to the interview and if someone asks which server is the fastest server, okay, maybe number of people they can give answer like Google is the fastest or Amazon is the fastest, but someone says localhost is the fastest. Okay, so you can see it like he is getting thrown out of the window. Okay, just like the fun part. Okay, localhost is always fast. Okay, because we are sending requests to our local machine. Okay, so you get the response very quick time. Localhost is always fast. Okay, but if you type facebook.com, okay, so facebook.com is not hosted on my local PC. Okay, I don't have facebook.com code in my local PC. Request goes to facebook.com server. Okay, and from there you get the response. Okay, so you have to understand that this is client server model. Okay, this is client server model. Okay, yeah, this is me. Okay, now you can see the screen over here, Facebook screen. Okay, you send request to the server. Okay, that request is getting sent by using HTTP protocol. Okay, and you get the response again by using HTTP protocol. Okay, now assume there is a server. Server is nothing but a machine where my application is hosted in a container, and that container will be Tomcat. For example, container will be Tomcat, because Tomcat only understand the HTTP request and Tomcat only send the HTTP response. Okay, so that's why we have Tomcat container install on server. Okay, now when you send request to facebook.com, Facebook server accept that request. Okay, Tomcat server, which resides in Facebook machine, accept that request, and it sends the response. Okay, why it sends the facebook.com, why it sends this page to me? Because I haven't logged in. Okay, so this is the default page which Facebook sends. Okay, HTTP, forget about S is for security. HTTPS means secure layer. Okay, we'll talk about only http://facebook.com. So when I hit this URL, I get response from the server. Same thing is I am doing here, same thing. Okay, so let me go back to localhost 8000. Okay, same thing I am doing. I am sending request to the server. Okay, but server is placed in my local machine, so that's why I'm sending request to local machine. Mera app local machine pe hai. Okay, so that's why I'm sending request to local machine. Facebook app, Facebook code I don't have. Facebook, to get the Facebook access, I need to click on this URL facebook.com. Okay, so in both the places I am getting the response, HTTP response only. Okay, so while working with web application, we have to work with HTTP request and HTTP response. That's it. Okay, complete web application works on HTTP. Take it anything, instagram.com. So what you do, www.instagram.com, it send HTTP request, you get HTTP response. That's it. Okay, now let's move ahead. Now what we are going to do with this page, first we will remove this page, default page. I don't want it. When someone send request to this URL, I want to give them a welcome message. Hello, welcome, you are learning Django. This message I want to give as a response. Okay, then we have to write some code. We have to take care of few things, few configurations and all. Okay, now let's talk about that. Okay, I am using Sublime Text for writing the code. Okay, so Sublime, I am into Sublime Text. Let me go to the project location. Okay, so Django session, and inside it I have one project name is hello world. Okay, click on this project, select it, and say select folder. It will open the project. Okay, now let's move ahead. Okay, I'll introduce you with this file structure later. Let's first run our project, and then I'll talk about what this file means. Okay, now first thing I'll do is to create the application inside my project. I need to create the application. Okay, now what application means, let's go over to the slide. Okay, consider the Facebook example. Project directory is Facebook, my project name is Facebook. Okay, so this is my project directory. In our case, my project directory is hello world. Okay, so you can match this project directory FB with hello world. Now FB has number of features. Okay, when you log in, you get the post. Okay, on left hand side you get the messaging bar, messaging dashboard. On right hand side, sorry, on right hand side you get the messaging. On left hand side you get the dashboard for settings, then your groups, and then if you want to create a new group, if you want to create a new page. So on left hand side you get a number of settings. Okay, on header, in your Facebook header, you get different options. Like if you want to update your profile, you can click on the profile. If you want to see the post, if you want to see your downloaded videos or save video, so you can use the number of options, right? So this is all about UI. Okay, but when you develop the similar kind of UI, you have to divide your project. Okay, you have to divide your project. How you can divide your project? Let's say modules. You divide your project into number of modules. Authentication is one module, messaging is another module, dashboard is another module, post, which you see it in the middle of the page, that is another module, right? So we have different modules. We should not write code in the same directory. We should have directories, proper directory structure. Okay, now if you talk about module is a generic word. Module kya hai? It is a generic word. But if you talk about these things in Django, then Django doesn't use the word module for Django. It doesn't use the word module. It uses the word application. क्या use करता है word application? Okay, means what? In my main project directory, I'll have different applications. Okay, I'll have messenger application. I'll have posts application जहाँ पे आप images and all your audio video जो कुछ upload करते हो तो. Okay, I have dashboard application. I have root application. Okay, so one project should have at least one root application. Okay, with the same name. Okay, I know ये थोड़ा initially confuse होता है, so this gets confused. Okay, people don't understand difference between project and application and why we have two different directories, one directory and inside it again one directory. Okay, so one directory, main directory is your project directory, and if you come inside it, you have application directory. Both has same name. Okay, so you can see like FB, यहाँ पे भी FB. Okay, so both have same name. Okay, because this is root application, so Django has given the same name. Now if you want to create your own application, you can create it. Okay, जैसे I want to give the dashboard feature, so I'll create dashboard app. I want to give post feature, I'll create post app. I want to give them messenger feature, I'll create messenger app. I want to have header, footer, and then home, contact us, about us. Okay, then I'll create pages app. Okay, these are like my pages. Okay, now how to create the application? Okay, we created the project. Initially we created the project. Command was python, sorry, command was यहाँ पे है, just a moment.
Hello, sir. One question is arise from Bhavar Deepak. What is the difference between module and function?
You're talking about specific to Python?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's forget about Django for now. Okay, so just let's talk about module and function. Okay, now let me open some Python code. Okay, so if you see it here, I have one Python file. Python file, you know, Python file has extension .py. I have .py file. I have written add function, which has two parameter and which will give me the result, addition of two number. Okay, so let's write one more function here, subtraction, which again has two parameter, return a minus b. Okay, now add is a function, subtraction is a function, sub is a function, right? Now if you put all these functions in a file, in a file, then that file becomes a module. Okay, module is nothing but Python file. Module क्या है? Python file. Okay, now in that module, if you want to write class, you can write class. Okay, yeah, I want to write class hello. Anything you can write. Okay, Python module has Python code. Okay, I have written one class also, and let me write one simple statement. Print hello. Okay, so Python file is equal to module. अगर आप Python के बारे में बात करोगे, Python file is equal to module. Okay, and that module can have simple Python code. Fine. That module can have class. Okay. That module can have single function. Okay. That module can have multiple functions. Okay. Now let me compile this program. Let me run this program. Run module. Okay, you got the output hello. Okay, because we have printed hello inside this module. Okay, now if you want to call subtraction is a function. If you want to call the sub, what you can do, sub function is inside sub function is inside a module. So what you can do, module add underscore module. This is my module name dot sub, and you can say 1020. Okay, you have to import the module first. Import add underscore module. Okay, and then your module name dot sub 1020. Let's say 2010. Subtraction कर रहे हैं हम 2010. Okay, you got the result 10. 20 minus 10. Okay, so module is a Python file and function is a function, simple function which you can call it. Fine, someone has raised the questions, raised the hand. उनका कुछ question है क्या? Okay, let me stop the sharing for a minute. I'll go to chat. What is difference between module and function? Okay, Bhavar, you got it? Okay, I hope he got the answer. Okay, now let me give you another example. Okay, import math. Okay, so Python has given some functions which you can use, which are readily available for mathematical programming. Okay, so for that you have to import math. So this math is a module. This math is not a function. Inside this module, we have functions. Okay, or we have variable declaration. Okay, example, in math, Python has defined pi. So if you print this, you will get value 3.14. Okay, inside this math module, math.python has defined cos function, so you can call the cos function pass 30. So you'll get the result cos of 30. Okay, so this math module has number of lines of code. It has a function which you can reuse it, you can call it and you can reuse it. It has a class, it has a variable declaration. You can see math.e, it has exponential value also. Okay, so module is simply a Python code, Python file. Okay, and collection of module is nothing but package. Collection of module मतलब क्या होता है? Package. So if you say Python, sorry, pip. Okay, let me open the slide. If you execute the command Django admin start project hello world, so that means it is downloading uh, some files. So those files, they are nothing but modules. Okay, because those are py files. Okay, so those are py files, मतलब क्या है वो module है. But if you install the Django, to install the Django, which command you use to install the Django? Pip install Django. Okay, so it downloads the complete package. पूरा एक package download करता है वो. Okay, which has lots of module, hundred thousands of modules in it. Okay, which we are going to use for our development purpose, web application development purpose. Okay, now let's move. Okay, so I hope we are clear with the difference between project directory and application directories. Okay, now if you go to your project, जहाँ पे आपका code है, if you go to that code, you will see the project directory. Hello world is the project directory. Okay, and inside it, hello world is the application. Okay, which has some code wsgi.py, urls.py, settings.py, init.py. Okay, so these are Python modules. Okay, so we have a default code which Python has given, which is inside your application, and this application reside inside your project. Okay, now this is root application. इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? Root application. Okay, so we cannot render our own HTML pages in a root application. We have to create our own application for that. Okay, so how to create the application? Let's go to command line again. Okay, so if you want to shut down the server, you can press Control C. To shut down the server, press Control C. Okay, you will come out of that server and you can use the command prompt. Okay, I want to create the application. Okay, first rule, you should be inside your project. To create the application, you should be inside your project. Okay, and then Django admin start app. Okay, earlier we used start project. Now we are using start app. Okay, earlier we used start project. Okay, so Django start app and application. Okay, so let's create the application pages. Fine, enter. Okay, no error means successful. If you get some error, that means failure. Okay, now go to your project. Now you can see there is a new folder created. Earlier we don't have this folder. Okay, so this folder is just got created now. Okay, and this folder has number of modules, number of files.
सर ते पेजेस जे क्रिएट झालेले आहे त्या पेजेस इज ओनली फॉर ऍडमिन डिजांगो
No,
ऍडमिन
no,
मॉड्यूल.
no, 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 no. It's for everyone.
It's for everyone.
Yeah.
That means if you have to create any number of pages, then before you are writing the command, this command will be executed. That is Django admin start app pages.
Yes, see, correct. You are correct. Okay, but I want to add a few things over here. Okay, pages is just the name which is given by me. Okay, now you can give any name over here. Pages, ये सिर्फ मेरा नाम है. You can give start app. Okay, you are going to create your first application, right? You can give first app. Okay, or I want to create a new application to display the header part. जो ऊपर होता है ना header banner. I want to create a new application for that. So I can create application with name banner.
Okay.
Okay, so my all the code which is related to banner will go into this application.
Yes, yes, yes. That means number of pages when I'm created. If I required any banner, so I'm insert the code in this banner directory or
Application.
banner folder.
Yes, yes, yes,
Applications.
yes.
Okay.
If you want to create a separate dashboard in your project, you can create new application dashboard. नाम भी कुछ भी दे सकते हैं. Dashboard dash my dashboard, anything.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, now why we have given pages? Because I want to display my own pages when someone requests to see my application. जैसे facebook.com is giving their pages. facebook.com ने आपको Django नहीं दिया. facebook.com is giving the login page or information page, like you should first log in, or if you don't have account then you should first register. So these pages Facebook has developed, and they have send it as a response. Okay, so same thing we will do. Okay, so that's why we created pages. Okay, now first thing. Okay, now everyone concentrate. ये steps बहुत ही important है, because if you don't understand this, then you cannot do Django programming. Okay, so uh, in let me tell you one more thing. Initially you'll get difficulties. You will see like Django is very hard. Okay, any technology, if you take C++, first time if you're learning technology, looks very hard. Okay, don't lose the confidence. Try to implement the things will go better. Okay, at some point things will go better. Okay, I'm giving you my experience. Okay, so initially when I started learning Django, I also feel like बहुत ही hard है यार. Even I have a number of years of experience in working with IT industry. Okay, Django is very hard. Okay, so but I I started learning it. I started implementing programs, application. I started writing code. Now I feel like Django is very easy. Okay, I can develop website in a week. If you give me some requirement, I want to develop a website in Django, dynamic, not static, dynamic, in a week. Okay, so that is how you can learn the programming. You can learn the frameworks. Okay, uh, let's come to the Django. We are going to do 4 step. Okay, 4 step in when we create the application. Okay, so 4 step हमें करने पड़ते हैं. Okay, so we'll create those steps, and I'll also try to note down those steps as a notes, तो आपको वो useful रहेंगे. So let me open the notepad. Okay, so first step, if you're going to create the new application, okay, I assume you have created the application. How you have created the application? Django admin. then start app. Okay, and app name application. Okay, now after that, first step, register the application. Register newly created application with root app. Okay, so this is the first step. You have to register your application with root application. Second step, define URL for the application. Okay, so you have to define the URL. Okay, if I want to reach to that application, I need some URL. Okay, so URL for the application. Okay, so I'll write it in the bracket. You need to create urls.py. Third step, define view of the application. Okay, means if someone asks you to give the login page, localhost colon port number slash login. If someone asks you to give the login page, okay, so this is the URL for login, then you should have some code which will return the login page. Okay, कुछ तो code आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. So that code we will write it in view. Okay, define view. Okay, so views.py ये करना पड़ेगा आपको views.py. And last step, include application URL into main URL. Okay, main URL मतलब which is present in root app. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, so we have to follow the fourth step. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to follow this step. Okay, with our Sakshi. Okay, first step is register newly created application with root app. Root app means your main app जहाँ पे आप like the project name का जो application है, that is the root app. Second step, define the URL. Third step, define the view. And fourth step, include your application URL into main application URL. Now let me go over. Okay, now everyone understand. This is your project. This is your main application with the same name. Now this application has urls.py. So this is main urls.py. ये क्या है? Main urls.py. Okay. This pages application we created. Okay, it's user defined application. Okay. Now first step is register your application with main application. How to register it? You have to go to settings.py. And here you have to register your application in installed apps. Okay, so these are the predefined application which Django gives. Django ने admin दिया है, Django ने authentication दिया, Django given session, Django given messages. So these are default apps. Okay, inbuilt. Now I created my own app. Okay, so which app I created? कौन सा app create किया? Pages. Fine, I created Pages app. Okay, but where is the configuration of Pages? Pages configuration gets stored in this file apps. तो इसलिए इसका नाम मैं यहाँ पे दे रहा हूँ pages dot apps. Okay, so let's open the apps, and inside this app I have a class page config. Okay, so how I'll write pages dot apps dot page config, pages config, and comma. Okay, simple. आपको first देना है pages, which is the app name, your application name. Okay, what is your application configuration? Stored in apps.py automatically. This file generates automatically. Okay, so apps.pages app. Okay, so Django will search this pages app by looking at this line. Okay, how I'll go to that class? I'll go to first pages, then I'll go to apps, then I'll get pages config. Okay, so this is the first step. Yeah, first step. Okay, we are done with the first step. Second step, define URL for the application. Okay, let's go over to pages app. Right click, say new file, save the file. urls.py. Okay, now everyone understand this urls.py, and now we created one more urls.py. Both are different. Okay, this is main application URL. This is my application URL जो आप pages के अंदर है. Okay, now we are going to write a few code here. So let me copy the code because we don't have much time today. Okay, if you are going to write py file, first thing you should import the required things, and then you start writing your code. Okay, now in my URL I am defining a path. Okay, so this path doesn't have any you can say any name. Okay, any name in the sense any further path, like I don't have slash login or slash something. Okay, if anyone request for empty path, this is called as empty path, localhost colon 8080. Okay, now if anyone requests for this path, I am going to send them the home page. क्या मैं send करने वाला हूं उनको home page, because this is my default you can say URL. Okay, after that if someone say login, I am going to give them login page. If someone say contact us, contact, I am going to give them contact page. Okay, but if nothing has been mentioned, I'll give them the home page. Okay, so this nothing will match with this path. Okay, now if user enter this path, I want to give home. Okay, so for that, what I'm doing, I'm writing a home function. Okay, where inside views. Okay, but what is view? You have imported the view from dot import views. Dot means current directory. Okay, मतलब क्या, जहाँ पे urls dot py वहां से क्या import करो, views import करो. Okay, because we are calling the home. Okay, and this home is reside present inside views. Okay, now inside view we don't have home. कहाँ पे home? Okay, we have to write the home function. Okay, this is third step. Second step, define urls.py. Okay, and inside it define path. Okay, inside urls.py define path. Okay, this that was the second step. Now third step is define views. Okay, so let's define the view. Okay, view is nothing but simple function. जैसे आप Python में function लिखते हो ना, same thing. You have to write the function. How to write def function? This function accept request HTTP form में, right? I told you earlier, when you hit the facebook.com URL, HTTP request is getting sent to the server. Internally क्या होता है, HTTP request जाती है. So this function gets the request, and then in return we are sending some response. Okay, so which response I am sending? HTTP response, and in that I am sending one message to the user. Hello, I am learning Django. Or you can say hello. यहाँ पे लिखते हैं welcome learning Django is easy. Okay, now if you see the browser, when I send the request, I'm getting this page, no use. Okay, so this page has this page is default page given by Django. I want to give the response welcome. Okay, so that's why we are doing this. Okay, dev home. Okay, we have written the HTTP response. It's fine. So it was the third step, I guess. Third step, define view. And last step is include application URL into main URL. Okay, until and unless you include the URL, your main URL cannot send requests to your application URL. पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि we have application URLs also defined. So you have to tell, बताना पड़ेगा. You have to tell to main application. How you can tell? In main urls.py, write path include. What you need to include? Application URL. Or which application URL? You have huge number of application. Let's say I want to include pages. Application name is pages slash sorry, pages dot urls. Okay, dot py देने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, if you see it here, path dot py, no, I haven't given. Admin.py I haven't given. Okay, include is also include function we are using. We have to import it. Okay, Python doesn't ask for extension because Python already know if you are importing the module means you are importing Python module only. Okay, yeah, okay, comma. Now we have done with all the 4 steps. Okay, don't worry, I'll explain it again. Now before that, let's see if you have any syntactical error. Okay, start the server. How to start the server? You should be in project directory, python manage.py, run server. Okay, no error. Okay, no error. And we see like the message starting development server. Fine, starting development server. Okay, now let's go to the browser, refresh it. Oh, I got the page. Good. Okay, now we are sending our own response. When someone hit the URL localhost 8000. Okay, empty URL. Look, after that we don't have anything. Let's say after that we have login. Okay, so we are not getting the message, login message or something like that. Okay, so just a moment. Okay, now you can see it here. Login, requested method get, requested URL is what login. Now Django is saying, Django tried the URL pattern, but Django did not find any login URL. Login page हमने लिखा ही नहीं है, so Django doesn't find it. Okay, but if you request the blank URL, empty URL, you get the response. Okay, understood. Uh, ask the question in the chat if you have any. Let me stop the sharing for a moment. Guys, ask me the question.
Yes, sir.
काय मी 1 मिनिट थांबलोय, जर काही क्वेश्चन्स असेल तर
Okay, okay, okay.
I want to
If
take it.
anyone have any questions, insert in. Sir, Supriya Adik send the queries in chat box. Sir,
Okay,
how we can use multiple app views?
we can use it. I'll teach that. Okay, after like after 2 minutes we are going to start with the same topic.
Okay. Supriya, sir will practically demonstrate that how to multiple app view are created. So another one question is raised from Rohit sir. What is
Okay,
the use of wsgi.py file?
yeah, so Rohit, I am going to explain the project structure, no problem. Okay, so we have like few slides there. I'll explain total project structure. Okay, we can change the path in project URL. Yes, as a see, the configuration of path is totally depend on the programmer. Okay, so if I want to create a contact page, I'll set the contact path, contact URL. If I don't have it, I'll not create it contact URL. Okay, so the setting of the path is totally depends upon the programmer. Okay, and I don't get the complete question, like project URL means what? You don't want localhost? Root directory, which root directory you mean to say? See, according to the structure, project root has project URLs. Okay, so simply you can what does Django command manage my shell do?
Dhanush Pawar,
Okay, okay, I
teach.
understood, I understood.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so
okay.
let me give answer to first Mahesh. Okay, so Mahesh, uh, it doesn't matter actually where you define the URLs. Okay, but as per the standard, if you are going to create your own application, then you should take responsibility to define the URLs into that application only. Okay, you should define the URLs into that application, and then the application URL needs to be included in main URL. Okay, you should not touch the main URL file apart from include. Okay, because main URL file will be served in the first place when Django gets the request. Okay, so we'll talk about that. मैं explain करने वाला हूँ थोड़ा project structure. At that time I'll explain the URL structure as well. Okay, Dhanashri, manage.py and shell means if you want to interact with the database, then Django gives command line facility. Okay, so you can open the shell and start interacting with the database by using command line facility. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to cover that in today's session because we have limited time, but you can try. It's very simple. Okay, let me tell you now how to do the project settings, how to do the database connection setting, where exactly you need to do that. Okay, I'll talk about that. Uh, Yes, instead of HTTP response, you can send different response as well. Okay, but that response should be again in the form of HTTP. Okay, for example, when you click on login, username, password you enter, when you click on login, the page gets transferred to different URL automatically. That is called as rendering. Okay, you do it like href, you also do it the href means when you click on something, ultimately you send request to the new page. Okay, on new page pops up. Okay, so something that also we can do. Okay, now in the next practical session we are going to see how to render the pages. Okay, we'll not send http response, we'll render the complete html page. Thank you, Animesh. Yeah. Now give me a minute, let me drink the water. Sir, we have break at 12 p.m., right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
12
Dhanashri,
to
very good
12:30
question.
tea break.
Difference tea break. Okay, no problem. Yeah, difference between Flask and Django. Truly speaking, there is only difference of syntax. Okay, syntax and like architecture. Okay, so same thing you can implement the things in Flask as well. Okay, but Django gives you the additional features which Flask doesn't give. Like for example, admin panel. Okay, Django has inbuilt admin panel. Flask doesn't have that. You have to write a code to create the admin panel and all. Okay, so most of the things which regular website needs, for example, admin panel, then messaging feature, emailing feature, authentication feature, session feature. Django gives it in standard way. Flask doesn't give that. Okay, but Flask has their own advantage as well, which Django doesn't provide. Okay. So each one is having its own advantage, disadvantage. Okay, uh, someone uh, if someone knows the Django, they can easily learn the Flask, and vice versa also. If they knows the Flask, they can easily learn the Django. It's the matter of choice according to the requirement. Admin panel, I'll talk about that. Okay, so let's understand the directory structure.
Hello. Hello, Kunal sir. Hello, Kunal sir. लेफ्ट झाला तो लेफ्ट झाले तिथं स्टॉप केलं रेकॉर्डिंग. Just wait for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I joined back. Sorry, somehow I got disconnected. I don't know why. Sir, can you hear me now?
Yes sir, yes sir.
Okay, so let me share it again. Okay, can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's talk about project structure. Okay, in our root application, main application, we have the same name like the project name. We have init.py, setting.py, url.py, and wsgi.py. Okay, so these are the four main files which we have it. Okay, so first file is init.py. Okay, we don't need it. Okay, so it doesn't have any code even. You can open it and you can see it. It doesn't have any code. We need settings.py because we can control the project settings from settings.py. Like if you want to use MySQL, you need to give the MySQL database information, username, password in settings.py. If you want to, if you don't want admin app or if you don't want default application which Django provides, so you can change that configuration in settings.py. You can change your project version. You can configure the bootstrap, CSS. You can configure the templates. You can configure the media folders in settings.py. Okay, so all configuration settings resides in settings.py. We'll look at some configuration settings, don't worry. Okay, then urls.py. Urls.py tells Django which pages to build to render in response to the browser. Okay, or when someone sends the request, which page we need to render. Okay, so that information is written in urls.py. Then wsgi.py, okay, which stand for web server gateway interface. Okay, so it helps in Django to serve the web pages in production. Okay, so now we are working in localhost only, but if you are going to host your website somewhere, if you want to give the domain name and all, okay, then you need to use the wsgi.py. Okay, so now we are not using that file. okay, in our sessions, because we are not going to deploy something. Okay, we are deploying in localhost only. Okay. And last one is manage.py. So manage.py is used to execute the Django projects. Okay, such as if you want to run the server, you can use manage.py. If you want to create a new application, you can use manage.py. If you want to interact with the database, you can use manage.py. Okay, so manage.py आपका प्रोजेक्ट रन करने के लिए यूज होता है, settings.py प्रोजेक्ट कॉन्फ़िगरेशंस के लिए, urls.py url कॉन्फ़िगरेशंस के लिए. Okay, now let's see it practically. Init.py, as I said, no code. Okay, we are not going to write any code. Okay, in settings.py, okay, we have set, Django has set base directory, project का जो base location है. So that base location you will get it here, base directory. You can even print it, print base directory. So what you will get, the base location of your project, C colon, then work, Django session and hello world. Okay, ये आपका path हो गया, path of your project. Okay, then there is a secret key. If you want to have secret key like public and private certificate, encryption, decryption, if you want to have full security in your application, then you can use this secret key. Okay, but in localhost we don't use it much, but in production means live server, वहाँ पे हम use करते हैं ये. Okay, then we have allowed host. Who is allowed to access my website? Currently all are welcome. Empty means all are welcome. If you say 192.168.1.0 means from this network only the request will be allowed. ओके, बाहर से कोई भी एक्सेस नहीं करेगा मेरे वेबसाइट को. ओनली कौन एक्सेस करेगा? जिनका आईपी एड्रेस है 192.168.1. okay, so let's remove that. And install app, I told you installed app means when you run your project, which all are applications you want to run. I want to run my pages app which I have written. I want to run admin, which is by default Django gives. I want to run session. I want to run message. I don't want to run content type. Okay, you can remove that. Simple. Okay, middleware. Let's don't talk about it. Okay, we don't have much time. We are not going to do anything in middleware. Okay, templates. This is main directory. You can say main configuration templates. Templates is array. ये देखोगे ना, this is array, and this array has JSON structure. Okay, and inside it we are going to configure the CSS files, JavaScript files, Bootstrap files, which we are going to use it from readily available frameworks like Bootstrap. Bootstrap gives us readily available CSS classes. Okay, if you want to use that, you have to tell Django कहाँ पे वो files रखे. So that directory name you have to give it here. Okay, so we'll see it after the break. ये हम देखेंगे क्या है. Now this is also the main part, database configuration. Okay. My Django by default uses SQLite database. Okay, same like Android. Android also support by default SQLite database. Okay, but I don't want to use SQLite. Remove this engine and name. I don't want to use SQLite. I want to use MySQL. So you have to give MySQL settings, MySQL information over here. Okay, let me show you what we need to give. MySQL. Okay, comment this. Okay, I want to connect to MySQL server. Okay, engine MySQL, name of the project, name of the database, Django, username is root, password is root, where is my MySQL server, localhost, and what is the port number, 3306. Okay. Django will connect to MySQL server if you give these settings. Fine. Now I'll comment this and I'll uncomment the default one. Okay, so basically Django supports all type of database, Postgres, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, SQLite, even non-structural database also, for example MongoDB. Okay, so these are like language code, time zone, etc, etc. Okay, WGI we are not going to write anything for now, but I explained WGI for if you gonna develop something which is live. Okay, so then you have to use gateway interface. Okay, and last one is urls.py. Okay. Now let me talk about urls.py more. Okay, kitna time? Okay, 12:05. Sir, for 5 minutes and then we'll have break.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, Now when you send request to the server, let me open the browser parallelly. Yeah. So when you send this request to the server, localhost 8000, Django will first understand or analyze this request. Okay, and it will try to match the request with URL pattern. आपका URL का pattern क्या है? Okay, my URL pattern is just the host name and the port number. That means it match with first path. यहाँ पे match हो जाता है वो. Okay, and now when it match, it checks include pages.url. Okay, let's go to pages.url. Okay, and it match it here also because this is again empty. Now Django understand that this path is match. ये match हो गया है. Django goes to views.home. Where is view? Here. Home. Django send this response. क्या करता है? ये response send करता है. Okay. Now let's do one more thing. My login. Okay. Welcome. Please login. Okay, I'm going to send this message. I am going to find one more view. Okay, एक ने question पूछा था multiple views. Okay, so let's define multiple views. URL is login. My login. Okay, name भी हम उसका unique देंगे. Okay, each URL should have unique name. So this URL has a name home. This URL has name login. Okay, views.mylogin. Okay, I have defined my login function. I am sending the response. Fine. Is my server running? Yes. Okay, good. Now let's go here, browser. Okay, I am getting default home page. Now let's say login. Okay, now I got the login response. Welcome, please log in. Okay, now what exactly happened? Just understand that. Okay. Okay, so when you run your project, or when you send request, always first request reach to main url.py, main. Okay, so inside main url.py, Django tries to find this path, login. Login and admin matching, no. Okay, so then Django says, okay, here you have empty, but you have included something. Let's look at that. क्या include किया है? Django goes here. Django see blank. Okay, no, there is no blank. After your URL port number, there is login. Okay, means client is requesting for login page. So this login and this login match हो रहा है? Yes, matching. Django goes to my login. Django goes to my login function. Django send this response and user get the response. Okay. If I change it here, 1, 2, 3, save it, refresh it. Okay, you got 1, 2, 3.
Sir, if I want to design a login form, so how it is?
Yes, good question. Now, that is the next part. Okay. First, have you understand this, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now, sir, if you want to design a login, then you cannot keep writing all the tags here because this look very dirty. Okay. Inside it, if I write HTML, then home, okay, and then sorry, HTML, and then head, title, body,
Yes,
and
yes.
after that I'll write slash body slash HTML. Write code very dirty. I don't like that. Okay. So what you can do instead of that, create a login.html page.
Okay.
Okay, and give that page name here, login
Yes.
HTML.
Okay, just include that name in HTTP responses and
Correct,
response
correct.
will
But
from
no, no,
HTTP.
not just you have to write couple of code because you are not going to send directly response. You have to render the response. You have to use different function, render.
Okay.
Okay, so a bit change in a code, but ultimately if you are going to write the big pages, then you should not use HTTP response. You should write code separately in HTML file and render that HTML file as a response.
Yes.
Okay, so now after the break, we'll do that also.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, now you can see it here, sir. I have one more project where you can see it. I have defined here inside pages. I have index page and about page. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when someone request me the about URL, I send this page. ये मैं send करता हूँ उनको. How? If you look at the pages view, where is my pages? Okay, this is my pages app.
Below the media.
Inside view, about, right? Okay. Can you see the about function?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. And now here, instead of returning the HTTP response, what I am returning? About page.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So we'll see that also. Okay. So क्या time हुआ है अभी? Sir, it's 12:13.
Yes, sir.
When should all when should
After
be
15
back?
minutes, sir.
After 15. Let me set the timer. Okay, so let's have some race. Okay, duck race. 12:15. Let's say 12:30. So after 15 minutes. Okay, so we should be back after 15 minutes.
Thank you, sir, for sharing valuable insight and effective knowledge about Django web development. Thank you so much. Now it's time for tea break. We'll be soon back after 15 minutes for the next session.
Hello, Kunal sir.
Hello, sir.
Shall we start, sir?
Yes, yes, I am ready.
Okay.
Welcome to the next session. Again, I would request to respected Mr. Kunal Pagaria sir to guide us on the topic of practical web development.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, just give me a minute. Sir, give me a minute. I'll rejoin because I cannot see the Zoom window.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah, I joined back. Okay, so guys, you have any question? You can put the questions on the chat if you have it. Otherwise, we can start in quick time. Yes, the Rohit Django supports connect connection to the NoSQL MongoDB also. Okay, now let's move ahead. Okay, now we are moving to template view. Okay, now we'll move to the template view. Okay, so if you see the syntax of view, we have defined home function, and inside home function we are sending the response. Okay, uh, so we shouldn't be keep writing the response like this when the response is big. Okay, you cannot write all the tags over here. Okay, so it's very cumbersome to write all the tags. Okay, tags. Okay, so instead of that, more correct way is to handle the request and then send the response is using Django template view. Okay, now we are moving to template view. Okay, so what you need to do to get into template view, go to your project, Okay, so this is my project. Create one more folder. Sorry, not file. Inside your main project, create one more folder. Folder name is templates. Okay, you can see it here. I have one folder with name templates. Okay, now next is you have to tell Django that I have created templates folder. How you can tell that? Go to settings.py. Inside settings.py, we have templates directory. We have templates array. In that we have templates directories array. Okay, templates के अंदर directories array. Okay, so there you need to mention this path. Okay, location of your templates folder. Okay, so the location is os.path.join your base dir. मैंने आपको बोला था base dir is your base location of your project. Okay, and after that join this templates directory. Okay, so it will be become जैसे यहाँ पे है क्या okay, just let me stop the server. Okay, so server has been started. Just let me give you here base dir location comma. Okay, now you can see it here base dir location c colon work my data Django session hello world. Okay, now we use this base dir location and we ask Django to look at the templates directory. Okay, ये path ले लो और इसमें ये templates directory join करो. So inside our project Django will search this template directory. Okay, so the complete path will become like this. C colon blah 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 hello world slash templates. ओके Django को हमें बोलना है कि हमारे सारे टेम्पलेट्स किस लोकेशन पे ये लोकेशन पे दिस इज द पाथ. Okay, so we have done these settings inside settings.py. Okay, now next thing templates. Okay, let's create the pages. But आप pages create करोगे तो let's create one more folder here, pages folder. Inside templates we created pages folder and inside pages folder we'll create a new file home.html. Okay, let's create another file login.html. Okay, we created two files home.html login.html. Okay, sir, shall we wait for 2 minutes क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग join हो रहे हैं. Should we continue? Everyone, can you listen it to me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. ठीक है. Okay. Now let me reshare it again. Okay. So what we did, we created templates directory, and then inside it we created pages, and now we have home page and login page. Okay. So how Django will know that we have templates and all the pages? Django will go into settings.py. Inside this template, Django will search this path. Okay, we have already configured this path. Now what we'll do, let's write some code here. HTML / HTML head, title, whatever, body. Let's write directly body / body h1. I am in home. Login. I am in login. Okay. Now go to views.py. Let's comment out this code. Okay, so we add this code. I commented it out. And then I say return render. Okay, you have to pass first parameter as a request, whatever request you have received, request, and then which page we want to show. I want to show home.html. Okay, home.html. But home.html is present inside pages directory. Templates tak to aa jayega. But after templates, we have to ask Django to go into pages directory / home.html. Okay. If someone calls login, what you need to give them? Login.html. Okay. Are we good? My login render. Okay. Render. We have imported render from Django shortcuts. We have imported HTTP response. Okay. We are good. Now go to the command line mode and see if you have any issue. No error. Fine. Okay. Let's go to the browser. Okay, hit the request. Yeah, now you got the complete page. Hello, I am in home. If you look at the source code, view page source, HTML body / HTML, and inside it I am in home. Okay, let's go to login page. Yeah, I am in login. Again, you can check the page source, HTML body h1. I am in login body / body. Got it? This is called as template view. Okay, now instead of simple HTTP response, we have written complete page, pura HTML page written here. Now whatever you will write it here, all things will get render. Everything will get render. Okay. Now let's move to, okay, let's create one more page. Contact.html. Okay, here you'll have contact form. Please get in touch with me for more details. kunal.pagaria@gmail.com email ID. So you can give all the details here. Okay. Now if you want to render the contact page, what steps you need to follow? Now just concentrate. I don't have any contact definition, function definition. So I'll write one more definition. Give any name. It doesn't matter. Give any name. Contact or it's contact function. Define the URL for contact. Contact slash. Give name my contact. Okay. Function name क्या है हमारा? Function name is contact fun. Okay. Inside views, function name is contact fun. Okay. Good. No error. Fine. Let's go to the browser and hit the URL. I am in home. Fine. Then login. Working. I am in login. Good. Next. Contact one. No URL. Okay. Because there is no URL defined which will serve the request with contact one. Okay. So you have to give the correct URL contact. Okay. Why it is I am in login. My contact. Okay, so I call login page. Okay, so this is the logical mistake, right? Python will not, Django will not do anything because you already told that I want to render the login page. Okay, so it is rendering the login. Copy paste mistake. So what you need to say, contact.html. Okay, refresh it. Yeah, please get in with me for more details. Okay, email ID and Insta ID, Facebook ID, number, whatever you want to, if give whatever contact information you can give that. Understood? Okay, guys, if you have any questions, then put it on the chat. Now we'll move further and we'll configure the bootstrap and other settings. Okay, before that, I am going to show you the admin panel. But if you have any questions, then ask me. Otherwise, I'll move.
If
Okay.
anyone has any queries, write it in chat box. Hello. Sir, one question arises from Supriya. How we can use external style sheet, that is CSS in HTML?
Yes, I am going to demonstrate that. I'll demonstrate it. Okay, if no other question, then I'll move. Okay, now let's go to the command line mode. Django admin. Okay, let's see what option we have it. Django admin. available sub command. Create cache. Okay. Python manage.py. Okay, so it says no such table exists auth user. Okay, fine. Python manage.py make correct. Okay, now what I did, I want to connect to the admin panel. Okay, admin application. So what Django says, if you want to connect to admin application, you should have auth underscore user table exist inside database. Okay, you should have auth underscore user table exist. Okay, I did not have that table because I created the new project. Okay, so to create the tables, default tables, you have to execute the command python manage.py migrate. Okay, so what migrate will do, migrate will create default tables in the database. Okay, which database I have configured? SQLite database. If you give the MySQL, Django will create the table in MySQL. If you give Postgres, Django will create the table in Postgres. Okay, so that information you have to pass it in settings.py. I already told you. If you go to settings.py, we have database array. Okay, so here you need to pass the DB information. Okay, so currently I am using SQLite database. It doesn't matter for learning purpose, for academics you can use SQLite. Otherwise, if university has suggested to use MySQL, you can even use MySQL. This is pretty simple. Okay, now to create the tables, we have to execute this command python manage.py migrate. So what migrate does, if you see it here in the output, it is going to connect to the table, connecting to the database, and it will create the migration for admin application, auth application, content type application, session application. For all these application, uh, it will connect to the database and it will perform the migration. Migration in simple word is called as creating the table at the backend or updating the table at the backend if it is already created. Okay. Now second step is, once you create the auth underscore user table, okay, by using migrate command, you have to create at least one user to connect to admin panel. Okay, by default you don't have any users, so to connect to admin panel we need to create a user. So how to create user? Create super user command python manage.py create super user. You should be in project directory. Okay, now let's execute this command. Create super user. Okay, now it is asking me the username, which username you want. I want user, say Kunal. Okay, email address kunal.garia@gmail.com. Password, I will set the default password again. Okay, password is similar to the username, that's okay. Create user anyway, yes. Okay, super user created successfully. Okay, I created user because I want to log into admin panel. Okay, now let's go to the browser. Okay, where is our browser? Okay, here. This site can't be reached. Okay, this is because server is not running. Okay, let's start the server. Okay, server is running now. Okay, I am in home page. To go to admin, you need to use this URL, because if you see the URL py, there we have written admin. Okay, याद आ रहा है ना? और let me show you. ये देखो in urls.py admin. So this admin URL and this word will match. So if it match, Django will open admin URLs. Django will go to admin app and it will open the admin application. Okay, so let's enter. Okay, we can now see the Django administrator page. Kunal, username, password. I'm typing the password. Login. Now I got the admin panel open. Welcome Kunal. You can see view site, change password, logout. You have groups, you have users. Okay, you have some activities. You can add the new group, you can add the new user. Okay, let's go to user. ओके ये देखो ये मेरा फर्स्ट यूजर है जो मैंने कमांड लाइन से क्रिएट किया कुणाल ईमेल एड्रेस फर्स्ट नेम लास्ट नेम माय मेल एडमिन स्टाफ okay now if you click on add user it will ask again few more information username let's say Ajay password confirm password okay save okay this username user got added successfully. Now I can give more details like Ajay last name. Okay, email address ajay@gmail.com. This will be active user. Staff means designated whether the user can log into this admin site. Yes, I want user to be used as a admin user for login. If I don't want, I should not click this. Super user, I don't want to give super user permission. Okay, so when user get created and all these information you have it saved. Now you can see I have two users. One is Ajay, another one is Kunal. Okay, this is staff status. No, I haven't given any staff permission. Okay, this is my staff user. Like this user I can use for login purpose. This user I will not use for login purpose. Okay, someone asked me the question like what is the use of admin panel or what is the admin panel? So this is admin panel. Okay, now in other languages, PHP, Java, JSP, JSP or ASP.NET, Angular, you have to create the admin panel by yourself. आपको कोड लिखना पड़ता है. Okay, but in Django itself gives the admin panel by default. आपको कुछ भी कोड लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. We haven't written any single line of code for admin. Django has given me that functionality automatically inbuilt. Okay, Amazon.com, everyone knows. Okay, now if you go to Amazon.com and you search for, let's say, bicycle, you get number of bicycles with their companies, price and all. Okay, now let's assume admin wants to add a new bicycle. Okay, user don't have that flexibility. Who can add? Only admin can add, or maybe Amazon person can add. Okay, so they logged in into admin panel. They see a same table जैसे यहाँ पे दिख रहा है ना, user table. They'll see the bicycle table, and in bicycle table they'll click, they can add the bicycle application in same way. Got it? Admin panel, how we have logged in into admin panel, what are the things we have done while logging to the admin panel, or to log in to admin panel. We first migrated the database, then second we created the super user, and then that user we have used to log in. Okay, if we log out, let's log out from here. Log out, thanks for sending some time, that's okay. Log in again. Now if I use Kunal, and if I give wrong password, showing me please enter the correct username and password for staff account. Okay, validation, authentication, you automatically get in Django. Okay, you haven't written any code for that. मैंने कुछ भी code लिखा नहीं है. Only the thing I have done is, guys, you can turn off your camera. Kunal Shinde. Okay, so things I had done is asked I had just asked Django to use the admin functionality in my project. Okay, ये line है. Okay, so I am using admin functionality. I want to use admin functionality. ये आपने निकाल दिया means you don't want to use admin functionality. So there won't be any admin functionality that you can use. Okay, let's say कि ये मैंने निकाल दिया. Okay, no install app with label admin. Okay, so directly you are getting the error over here. Okay, so this functionality Django gives. Why? Because every application needs admin panel. Okay, so I am getting error because I created admin panel tables and all, and I am removing that. So Django is looking for admin. Okay, so you want to remove it completely, then remove it from here. ये मैंने निकाल दिया यहाँ से, and then inside URL also you should remove this. यहाँ से भी remove करो. Okay, my application is running now. Now if you hit the admin, let's see what happened. No admin page. Okay, earlier we were getting the admin UI, now no admin because we have removed admin application. Okay, any question on admin front, admin panel? Yes, Animesh, everything you can do, everything. Okay, but I have very limited time, so I'm not sure how I'm going to show it as of now. Okay, but we can do that. Okay, so I'll At the end of session, I'll show my project to you, and in that project I had changed the admin panel. Okay, so that I can tell you. Yes, you can do that. Okay, Rohit, so if you have admin access, then you can manage the site data. Okay, you can update the data, even you can delete the data. If you don't want to give permission to some user, you can give restricted access, or you should not give admin access to that user. Okay, so generally admin access, they are those are given to only the admin user, not to all the users, because apart from admin, no one should touch the backend. From UI, you can do anything. UI login, UI registration, you can do that. Okay, if no further question, then we'll move to Bootstrap, CSS, जो सुप्रिया ने पूछा है. Okay, now let's move to next topic. Okay, so let me bring back my admin panel. Control Z, admin URL in settings.py. We should include django.contrib.admin. Okay, now let's refresh it. You got the admin page. Okay, now let's move ahead. Okay, so now I have one page, contact page, home page, login page. Okay, in every page I have to write home, HTML, body, again metadata, your head tag, title tag. In home page also I have to write everything. In contact page also I have to write everything. Okay, so better to have one base template. Okay, base template in the sense, let me go to flipkart.com. Okay, so if you go to flipkart.com, okay, login information पूछ रहा है. Now if you see it here, you have some product list. Okay. Now if you go to main category, and in main category, if you say I want to see the watches first. Okay, now it's showing me the fast track watches. Okay, but if you look at the base template, this header part remains as it is. Okay, footer, do we have footer? यहाँ पे footer है क्या? Let's go ahead then. Okay, I have this footer. Okay, now let's go to, okay, let's click on this. Okay, now you can see header part is as it is. Okay, footer, do we have again footer? Yes, this one is also as it is. Okay. Only the content which user is asking, okay, that content is going to render, or that content is going to change. Okay, rest, your search bar, your logo, login, your menu, your card information, those remain as it is in every page. Okay, so how we should do the same programming? Okay, so we should not copy all the code in all the pages. जैसे header वाला code है, I'll I'll writing header code here. Let's say in body, first is my header code, header. Okay. I have another page. Okay. Just write the header code also here, copy paste. I have another page. Let's write header here. This is not a good coding. Okay. Because let's say I want to change the color of header. I have to change it here. I have to change it here. I have to change it here. If I have thousands HTML files, then I have to change those 1,000 files. That is not a good way of programming. Okay, company standard, in company it will not allow. So what you need to do, let's create a common page. यहाँ पे common page create करते. Inside, not here, sorry. Inside templates, new file, Control S, base.html. Okay, so I created base.html. If you look at the structure, pages के बाहर है वो. Okay, it's not in pages, base.html. Because I'll need this base HTML in every page. Okay, दूसरे भी अगर कुछ applications रहेंगे तो वहाँ पे भी मुझे ये base HTML लगेगा. So I will not include, I will not use this base HTML. I will not create this in pages. I will create it outside. Okay. Now this base HTML will have some code. Okay. Let me copy that code. Base HTML. Okay, I need HTML and all. Okay, title/title, and then we'll say slash head, and here I'll have body. Body/body slash HTML. Okay, so I created one top bar at the top of HTML page where I have some my phone number and my email ID, and we'll have some icon. Okay, so icon, I haven't downloaded that, but you can have Twitter icon, Facebook icon, LinkedIn icon, or Instagram icon. Okay, so that icon I'll have it. Now what I'll do next, to use this base HTML inside your all HTML page, first I need to include that. Okay, how I can include? Okay, give me a minute. Contact page, home page, and login page. Okay, so this block content I'll tell you what it is. let's see if I have any error. No error. Okay, so let's go to the browser. Okay, I am in home. Okay, login. Contact. Okay, home के लिए क्यों नहीं दिखाया? Just a moment. Inside home, block content and block. Extend base HTML. Yeah. Okay. Now you can see it here. I have one simple header bar. This is just a simple top bar where I have mentioned the phone number and the email ID. Okay, and then your page content. Okay, so in every page, I want to show the top bar. Whether it could be like contact. Yes, I get the top bar. Whether it could be login. Yes, I am getting the top bar. Okay, so this is called as base template. Okay, now if you look at the code, I'm not going to change anything in my contact HTML or home or login. Simply I'll go to base HTML and if I want to change this phone number to some other phone number, XYZ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, I have to change it in one file only. Okay, and then from here, if you refresh it, you will get the change. Okay, if you go to another page, still you will get that change. You are getting that change. Got it? Okay, understood this concept, base HTML. Yeah, I hope
If
so.
anyone has any queries, ask them. Those have any queries regarding this?
Sir, तुमचा डाऊट झाला ना clear?
हो sir, हो sir.
We can render anything, any HTML page.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Okay. Now I'll come to Bootstrap and CSS.
Question is arise that how to get value of HTML control. So if in HTML form there is a text box or there is combo box. If I want to get value using Django or using Python, so how to it get and how to it resubmit to the again form?
Yeah, I'll talk about that.
Okay.
Okay. So okay, just let me open my project. Just give me a minute. I'm going to start my SQL server. Okay, so for that, fine. Okay, to start the server, I have to be in admin mode. cd mysql server cd bin mysql d root console. Okay, so what is the error? Can't only one usage of protocol network address pose is normally permitted. Okay, so I guess there is one more MySQL is running. Go to taskbar. Okay, I'll kill this. Okay, now no MySQL is running. Let me go over to this again. Okay, now my MySQL server is running. I can connect to the database. Let me go to my project. Okay, my server is running now. I'll refresh this. Okay, so this is the project. Okay, you can see it, the property listing. Okay, I copied this theme from the internet. Okay, so you can use the existing Bootstrap and JavaScript things from the internet. Okay, then I have some top bar here. You can see the header. There I have login and registration. Okay, so if you see the login, this is login page. This is a registration page. Okay, now if you try to log in using Kunal. Okay, so let's use admin. Okay, so it shows invalid username and password because something is wrong. Admin 1, 2, 3. No. Okay. Job. Yeah. Okay, so I clicked. I login it into the system. Now you can see register is gone. I don't see register. Now I can see only logout. And if you go it here about, it will give you the about information. If you go it here listing, it will show me the listing information. Okay, now this listing also has page initiation and other stuff. Now if you go to the admin panel of this project, localhost / admin. Okay, I have to log out. Okay, now you can see apart from groups and user, I have different tables which I created. Okay, ये तो मुझे किसने दिया है? Django has given, but I created listing. Okay, so if you see the listing, I have these number of records, total 6 records. If you click on, let's say, Deccan, you will see all the information of that property. Okay, so all these things it got developed inside Django. Okay, and if I show you the code, just let me open the code. Okay, so you remember during start of the lecture we learn what is application and how to create application. Okay, so similar to that, I have accounts application which I created. I have contacts application. Hello world is the default one, main application. Okay, by the way, I haven't changed the project name. मैंने ऐसा start किया था तो वैसे ही start किया. Then I have listing application, property listing. I have pages application to show the pages. Then I have realtors application like agents, property agents. Then I have templates जहाँ पे मेरे सारे HTML के pages है. Okay, and now sir, you ask question like how you can read the form value. Okay, so you can see it here. Inside accounts, I have login page. Okay, so inside login page, you can see username, password, and login button. Okay, so username, password, and login button. Now what I did here, I use this input username. Okay, I have written the form here. You can see I have written the form. कहाँ पे गया? I have written the form. Action is login action. Okay, and method is post. Same thing. Concept is same. जैसे आप PHP में करते हैं ना, you have action and then you have post. Correct. Now in action, you write some PHP file name. Okay. Give me a minute. The plane is passing from my area. Yeah. So in the action, you give some PHP page. Okay. And in that PHP page, how you read the controls, document dot get element by ID, something like that in JavaScript PHP. Right. And then you get the username information and password information. Okay. But Django uses different concept. Okay. So if you see it here, I have written accounts. In that accounts views. Okay, inside view I have login function. Okay, and now in login function I am checking if the request method is get or post. If the request method is post, I get the data in the request itself, like request dot post, and I'm passing the username. Request dot post, I'm passing the password. Okay, so जो यूजर ने टाइप किया है वो मुझे इस वेरिएबल में मिलेगा, यूजर नेम एंड पासवर्ड. Now I am asking authentication object. This is my authentication object to authenticate the username and password. Okay, and if authentication is not null, means if I authenticated successfully, I display the message. ये message है, I display the message. You are now logged in, and I redirect my page to dashboard page. Okay, and if user object is null, that means user is not authenticated. I am sending the message invalid username password, and then I'm giving the response redirect, return redirect to again same page, login page. तो invalid username password दिया तो वो वापस कहाँ पे आएगा, login page पे आएगा. Okay, and simple, if the method is get, initially method will be get, तो मैं directly क्या render कर रहा हूँ, लॉगिन पेज रेंडर कर रहा हूँ. अकाउंट्स किस में है वो लॉगिन पेज, अकाउंट्स के अंदर है. सो अकाउंट स्लैश लॉगिन HTML. सो इफ यू लुक एट माय कोड, लेट्स गो हियर, लॉगिन. ओके, सो इफ यू सी अकाउंट स्लैश लॉगिन, ये मेरा URL है. नाउ इफ यू सी द पेज सोर्स, इनसाइड पेज सोर्स we have this login wala code, username, password. Got it, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and if you see it here, this is fully secured. Okay, I have used here security token. If you see the token value, so this is unencrypted token value, so no one can read my username and password if it travel from the internet. That
Okay.
will
Okay.
that will be an encrypted form.
Okay.
Okay, so how you can read this username and password in programming? You have request dot post.
Post. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, and then you can connect to the database and you can authenticate the user.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, same thing you can do it with registration also. In registration, I am fetching username, email ID, password and
Means
confirm
only
password.
one simple statement is that request dot post and what are the name of
Correct. Name of
component.
the control. Yes, name of
Yes.
the
Yes.
control.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Uh, how much time we have?
Wait, answer my sir. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay, let me just quickly cover the CSS part. Okay, so for CSS, what you can do? First, you need to create a static folder. You should create a static folder inside app directory. Let's go here inside my main app. Okay, copy करना है main app. Go to main app and create not new file, static folder. New folder, static. Okay, and then inside this folder put your CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, everything you can put. Okay, so let me go to downloads. मैं चेक करता हूँ CSS and bootstrap, yeah, bootstrap. Okay, inside this bootstrap I have CSS and JS, so I copied that. I go to the project location, my data, Django session, hello world, and inside hello world static. Okay, यहाँ पे मैंने मेरा bootstrap और ये add कर दिया CSS and JS file. Okay, if you want to add images or icons, you can also add that icon, or font की भी file रहती, that also you can add. Okay, static means those are like not getting changed frequently. ये वैसे ही रहेगा CSS JavaScript. Okay, I can change during development purpose, but live scenario में ये change नहीं होगा. Live scenario में क्या change होगा? If you are in Facebook, you will post the app, you will post your photo. ये change होने वाला है. or if you are in property application, you will upload your details, property details. ये change होगा. Okay. CSS JavaScript doesn't change at runtime much. Okay. So that's why Django treat those things as a static. Okay. And then images also, like my website logo change नहीं होगा कभी. My website information change नहीं होगी. So I can put that information in static. Okay. Now if you once you put the information in static, copy CSS, JS, image folder, whatever into this static, and then next thing you need to do is you need to configure the static URLs. Okay. क्योंकि Python Django को पता लगना चाहिए कि static आपने कहाँ पे रखा है. Okay, so you have to tell कि static I have kept in static directory. You can see static files directory. Where exactly I kept in my base project location, my hello world project, and inside it static folder. Okay, so ये मैं copy कर लेता हूँ इतना. Where is my code? This is my code. Go to settings, because जो कुछ हम settings करते हैं सारा किस में करते हैं, settings.py में करते हैं. Go at the end. यहाँ पे static URL already है. Now we have defined static root and static directories. Okay, जैसे हमने templates में लिखा था. You can see it here. Templates में templates का location दिया. Static में we have given static location. Okay, and last thing you have to do is you have to ask Django to collect all static information. Okay, Django को आपको बताना पड़ेगा. How you can do that? Go to the command prompt and type python manage.py collect static. This is the command, collect static. Okay, so what collect static will do, it will copy all the static files and folder. It will build it, कुछ compilation error है नहीं, ये सारा कुछ देखेगा, and it will save all that information here. आपके जो प्रोजेक्ट है, प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर उसने एक स्टैटिक फोल्डर क्रिएट किया. ओके, वी क्रिएटेड स्टैटिक फोल्डर हियर. वो ये हमारा है, ये अभी भूल जाओ. ओके, and now Django created one static folder here. There Django added CSS, JS, admin का भी थोड़ा बहुत उसने कुछ ऐड कर लिया for admin activity purpose. Okay, now you can use bootstrap and JS. अभी आपके पास ये है bootstrap and JS information. You have bootstrap JS, you have bootstrap CSS. Now you can easily use the bootstrap classes. How? Let me tell you. Okay, आपको अगर bootstrap यूज करना है तो आपको क्या करना पड़ता है? Anyone? Okay, let me tell you. I hope you should know that how to use the bootstrap, because bootstrap is very famous technology concept. You can apply it anywhere, any web project, any web technology, PHP, ASP.NET, and then Angular, React.js, Flask, कहीं पे भी apply कर सकते हो. Okay, now to use the bootstrap, usually how we do, we use head tag, and inside head tag we link it external bootstrap. आप क्या करते हो, style sheet देते हो, and you give the href and path of your CSS file. And how you use JavaScript, inside script tag you use JavaScripts. Okay, now Django works little differently. Django क्या बोलता है, for me CSS, JS they are static. तो उसको कैसे इंक्लूड करो, स्टैटिक वे से इंक्लूड करो. Okay, so if you see the right hand side, if you want to write any Django code, let me do it full screen. If you want to write any Django code inside HTML, okay, ये हम first time कर रहे हैं. If you want to write any Django code inside HTML, you have to use percent, curly bracket and percent. Okay, and also end with percent and curly bracket. ऐसे उसको end करना है. Okay, static concept is from Django, not from HTML. So I have to write it in Django way. So इसलिए मैंने यहाँ पे क्या दिया? Curly bracket percent curly bracket. href is my HTML tag, so I don't need percent and curly bracket there. Okay, so earlier way क्या था? Left hand side पे देखो. Earlier way you have all .css file inside asset folder /css. तो आपने वो path दे दिया. Now new way क्या है Django में? Percent curly bracket percent, write static is the Django concept, and give the folder location जो आपके प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर है. In my project I have css file in css folder, bootstrap.css in css folder, style css in css folder. Okay, and same thing for JavaScript भी आप ऐसे ही देते हो, script and source location in normal HTML, and now in uh, Django static and your file location. JS के अंदर this file, JS के अंदर this file, this file, this file. Okay, and one more thing, when you are using static, you have to tell Django that please load static for me because I want to use it. So at top of the page you have to write load static. ये आपको लिखना है. Okay, so first thing, write load static. Let's write it. Okay, so at top of the page, load static. Okay, and then this is my section. Okay, after section, let me. Okay, so inside head I have to link the CSS. So how to link the CSS? मैंने ये बता दिया आपको. Let me copy that. Inside head, ये मैंने CSS ऐड कर लिया. And now inside body, at the end I'll add it. Inside body, I'll add scripts. Okay, let me add that also. ये भी मैंने add कर लिया. Scripts. Fine, good. Okay. Okay. Let's add some bootstrap. Let's see. आता है क्या? Bootstrap for button. Okay, what is the bootstrap button? Let me copy it, and in my login I'll use that bootstrap button. Okay, so I have to start my server. Okay, no error, fine. Now let's go to the browser. इसको refresh करते हैं. Okay, so you can see it here. Now the UI got changed. Now if you go to login, now you can see bootstrap. Okay, if I am using bootstrap, now you can use your own CSS also. Just now write the CSS. यहाँ पे क्या करो? Go to static CSS, define your CSS file. Style.css, and you can write your CSS here. That's it. We already added this file inside base HTML. यहाँ पे इसका linking मैंने already किया है. You can see it here, style.css. Now just you need to add your CSS classes. Okay, let me add one banner also. वो भी मैं add करके दिखाता हूँ. Just moment. I have to go to my Git repository. Oh, base HTML. What I have in top bar. Okay. Okay, I am adding one nav bar. Okay, so this code is also a navbar code and all I copied. I copied from internet. Okay, so because just for test purpose I want to use that. Then what you can do, you go to your base HTML. Base HTML में मैंने यहाँ पे top bar add किया है. I added top bar, right? And after that I'll add one navbar. Say home about. Let's say food menu. I want to design application for food menu. Register and login. Okay, now let's go to the page. Yeah, now you can see the navbar got added. Home, about, food menu, register, login. Okay, you go to every page, any page. You will see this top bar and navbar now. Okay, कुछ change नहीं होगा. You go to login, go to contact, same thing. Only this content will change. ये वाले. Okay, my top bar, nav bar, or maybe dashboard, or maybe footer, those are like will be same. Footer, let's add footer also. I have footer code. Okay, ये भी मैंने copy किया है footer code. Simple thing. Okay, so after navbar we'll have the content, dynamic content. Okay, I'll explain this block content. ये क्या है? I'll explain that. My footer. Okay, now you can see here the footer part. Contact page में बस एक ही लाइन है तो उसके बाद footer दिखाई दिया. Okay, if you want you can give the footer थोड़ा break देके. After that you can see line break BR. आपको अगर थोड़ा break देना है उसके अंदर you can give that. Okay, now this is the footer part. Fine, and now if you look at the page source. Okay, I have HTML. ये सब जो दिख रहा है ना, ये base HTML है. If you see it here, all code there belongs to base HTML. Okay, और इसके अंदर आप देखोगे ना base HTML इसके अंदर यहाँ पे कौन सा पेज है ये contact वाला, right? You get the contact information inside it कि जो यहाँ पे दिख नहीं रहा है. But what Django does, if you are in contact, go contact, Django look the word block contain and end block. Okay, So Django find similar word block contain and end block in your base HTML. Okay, यहाँ पे मिला. It removes this. वो ये remove करता है and it add contact HTML code. बेस के अंदर यहाँ पे उसने ऐड कर लिया. Now you see your base HTML code with dynamic information. See it here. Contact. Okay. Now if I go to login, let's go to login. Okay. So I am getting base page only. यहाँ पे मुझे क्या मिल रहा है? Base page only. Okay. Because if you see the view source, again HTML, head, title, body, section, navbar, I have written in base HTML. Okay. But from here, the control is going to the login HTML. Okay. If you see it here, ये जो code है, ये कहाँ से फिर embed होके आया है? Login HTML at runtime. ओके. बेस HTML के अंदर लॉगिन का कोड नहीं है, कहाँ पे भी नहीं है इनसाइड बेस HTML. ओके, इफ यू सी इट हियर, बेस HTML डजंट हैव लॉगिन कोड. यहाँ पे कुछ है क्या? देखो, nav के बाद br है, आफ्टर nav br, बट इसके बीच में क्या आया? लॉगिन का कोड आ गया. हाउ दैट इज पॉसिबल? बिकॉज वी यूज डायनेमिक ब्लॉक कंटेंट. So what Django does, Django removes this line. Django go to login HTML, Django finds this line and end, और इसके अंदर जो कुछ है, all these things, all the code, Django use it as a reference and will render it in this space, इसके बीच में. Okay, so that's why you see this code over here. Okay, and the login page also. Okay. Let me stop it. Okay guys, understood? Okay, who asked the question? CSS किसने पूछा था? Supriya. Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay, what is the question? How to get value from HTML to Python and send result to browser? Yeah, I already shown that by using request.
Yes, any query related to the topic or session?
Yeah. Now guys, be frank, ask me anything. सर बोलतात का तुमचे स्टुडंट?
बोलतात बोलतात, म्यूट केलेले सर्व. अनम्यूट करू का सर सर्वांना?
हा हा, आता अनम्यूट करा. And guys, ask question one by one.
सर्वांना अनम्यूट केलेला ऑप्शन केलेला आहे. कोणाला काही क्वेश्चन असेल ना तर 1 बाय 1 सर्वांनी विचारा, कोणाला असेल तर.
Yes.
No query for anyone? Sir, no query, sir.
Animesh,
Yes, sir.
those who are asking question, please ask regarding in your topic. No question, I think.
Okay. Kunal sir, no one has any question.
I got few question एक विचारलेला आहे महेशनी.
Okay.
Let me answer that. Okay, each framework has its own specialty. Okay, if you look at the Angular, React JS is very good. Okay, so I can say React is very good. Okay, but React cannot work with means you cannot implement your program in React with backend. Okay, you have to write backend separately. React is only server client side technology. Server side very less. कोई server side के लिए use नहीं करता. But client side, if you want to use the React for validation, for state, for props, okay, React is super. Okay, so market industry uses React for UI programming, client side programming, or client side JavaScript validation. Okay, React का full form ही यही है. React means extension to the JavaScript. JavaScript के आगे. Now, if you talk about Django, if you want to develop the website very fast, dynamic, with millions of user you want to connect to this website, जैसे Instagram देखो, then Django provides server side feature with stability. You can say reliability. Okay, performance wise Django is very good. Okay, Django is very reliable. Okay, why I'm saying that, because today millions of users they currently running the Instagram application, and all they are running Instagram application means they are indirectly using Django backend. Okay, so Django has backend functionality. Okay, UI you can use integration with Bootstrap, integration with CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, सारा कुछ कर सकते हो. Okay, but UI के लिए mainly industry prefer React or Angular. Why? Because React and Angular has much more advantage over Django. Okay, but server side programming, you see the admin panel, database query, getting the result from backend, validations and all. Django gives very good support. Okay, ये एक रीजन है. इंस्टा का जो UI है वो पूरा रिएक्ट में लिखा है और इंस्टा का बैकएंड पूरा Django में लिखा है. Okay, we can make API using Django. Yes, आप ये कर सकते हो. API in the sense web services, REST API, you can implement it in Django. How to get values ये बताया. Speciality I told. Okay, good course. Lot of good courses available. Okay, you can learn it from there. Okay, but one thing is for sure, course doesn't teach you all the things. Okay, क्योंकि course में, let's say I want to develop the website of hotel management. Course will not give me everything related to hotel management. Course will give me the concept. Now it's your responsibility to implement those concepts while implementing the hotel management project. Okay, course is just for understanding. Okay, and why you need course then? I given you the documentation link. Let me share it to you again. Django documentation link, very good support. Okay, सारा कुछ मिल जाता है Django documentation में. You can search on the internet Django documentation. Why people don't use documentation? Because people don't have interest to read. Okay, otherwise ये course जिन्होंने बनाया है उन्होंने क्या पढ़ा है? Documentation ही पढ़ा है. Right? How they get the knowledge? By reading the documentation only. Okay, so you can go through the Django documentation. Very good support. Okay, Rohit, best which one is best, Python with Django or machine learning? That is depend on you, your interest. Okay, मैं तो बोलूंगा कि अगर आपको C में इंटरेस्ट है तो C भी करो. Right? There is nothing like that कि मार्केट सी के लिए अवेलेबल नहीं है और यू डोंट हैव opportunity in C. You have opportunity in C++ also. Okay. To it depends on your interest. Okay. As you are fresher, you are intern, तो आपके लिए कैसा होगा when you join the industry and suppose in that industry, let's say कि मैं XYZ company में join हुआ and that company has project in Angular, then you have to learn Angular and you have to start your career in Angular. Otherwise आपको क्या देखना है कि आपको let's say कि Django करना है, so you have to look that company which works in Django. Okay, so these things you have to try. Okay, hi everyone.
Hello, sir.
Okay, further question. Okay, even sir has my email ID if you have any question. Now we have just recorded the session. Okay, but later if you try to implement it by yourself and if you face the issue, जैसे कहाँ पे error आ रहा है, कुछ आ रहा है, and you are not getting the resolution, then you can mail your query to me. Screenshot भेजो या error paste करके भेजो. I'll respond you. Okay, मैं आपको help करूँगा फिर. Okay, everyone note down my email ID. Just try to not send the syntactical error. आप खुद ही solve करो syntactical error. If you have any logical issue कि output नहीं आ रहा है, maybe initially you'll get the syntactical error. That's okay. But for now try to resolve it by yourself. अगर नहीं हो रहा है, you can always contact me. Okay, sir तुमचा आवाज नहीं येते.
Any question for anyone? Okay,
No.
no question, sir.
Thank you, sir. Your session was full of zeal and valuable information. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing great knowledge about practical web development with us. Now, after having these 2 days refreshing session, it's time to propose the vote of thanks. So I would request to Mr. Bhavar, sir, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now we are moving towards final session, that is valedictory. Okay. President of this function, Honorable Srimati Minatai Jagdane ma'am, Member, Management Council, Raj Shikshan Sanstha Sataram, respected Principal of our college, Dr. N.S. Gaikwad Sahib, our organizing committee and all the participants. We have organized 2-day online webinar on Python and Django framework. Yesterday we have started that one. First, I would like to thank our organizing committee for organizing such a wonderful event for our student. On the behalf of our college, I would like to thank the chief guest of this webinar, Dr. Jyoti Yadav ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, for delivering such a vital information regarding Python language, which is most widely used software programming language nowadays. She has shared all the basic knowledge regarding Python language that will definitely improve knowledge of our students. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. On the behalf of our college, I would like to thank President of this event, Honorable Srimati Minatai Jagdane madam, for her continuous guidance to us. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank respected principal of our college, Dr. N.S. Gaikwad Sahib, for his regular encouragement and valuable support to us. Thank you, Sahib. Thanks a lot. I would like to thank Mr. Kunal Pagaria, MDocs India Private Limited, Pune, for sharing his experience regarding Django framework with our students. He has told how to install Django framework and also practically explained various features of Django framework. He has also explained how we can do web development using Django with Python. So that will absolutely beneficial for our students. Thank you, sir, for your kind cooperation and valuable guidance. Thank you. I'd like to thank my computer science team, all the participants, all the students for being part of such a knowledgeable event. Okay. Thank you all. Thanks a lot. Now, with the permission of coordinator, I declare here that all the session of this online webinar are over. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for inviting me for the session. Okay, it was a nice experience. Okay, so I met all of you. I met your students. I reached to Sri Rampur, your college. Okay, one of my friend was there from Sri Rampur, and he educated from there only. So he said the college was superb, and uh, he actually feel proud that like I'm going to teach you in your college. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.